Education, so important to Dr. Norman Borlaug. And the third annual Norman Borlaug Education Day, called Inspire, was held at the Borlaug Farm about 4 miles west of Prodovan. And it was a huge success because it absolutely inspired you just to be around the enthusiasm from the presenters as well as the students from the area schools that attended it. On this report, we're going to hear and see the children right after lunch do the Norman Borlaug song. We're also going to hear from Vice President of the Norman Borlaug Foundation, Barb Schwaman, the principal at the Ocean School in the South Winneshiek District, and also from Tom Spindler. You're going to see a presentation inside the schoolhouse that you don't want to miss. It was so well done by Mr. Spindler, the Norman Borlaug Foundation president, that it is definitely worth watching. But first, let's bring the children in with the Norman Borlaug song. The Norman Borlaug song right in front of his schoolhouse that he was educated in through the 8th grade right after lunch during the Education Day out at the Borlaug Farm. Tom Spindler is the president of the Norman Borlaug Foundation, and he gave a presentation inside the schoolhouse. Let's pick up on that.
You are connected with those. Remember when I showed you that picture of the starving people in the dark color of Africa? You're connected to those little kids that are growing up in a tribe in the middle of Africa. This is a global world you are in now, and it's going to be up to you to do something about it. And so that's what Dr. Borlaug did until his dying days. And I told you, didn't I tell you the story of his on his deathbed, and the last words he said, Africa, my mission is not accomplished yet.
That was Tom Spindler. He's the president of the Norman Borlaug Foundation, giving a presentation during Education Day. Jack Thompson was in the Borlaug home, and he talked about Norman Borlaug, the athlete.
Norm was a good athlete. When he went to high school here, he played football, but primarily wrestling. And he went on to go to the University of Minnesota, and they went ahead and didn't have wrestling. So he went ahead and said, we'll go ahead and bring the coach up from Cresco High School, and we'll get him to go ahead and to teach these people how to wrestle. And that's how Minnesota developed wrestling, yes.
That was Jack Thompson of Cresco, who knew and was friends of Dr. Borlaug for about 60 years. Education's so important. And one of the things that separates Norman Borlaug from a lot of the other people who grew up on farms in this part of the world during his day was education. And Barb Schwaman, a vice president of the Norman Borlaug Foundation, talks about that.
Absolutely. It's very important that we're out here with our 5th graders today, educating them on how they can be our future Borlaugs. Dr. Borlaug did not want this place to be a museum. In fact, he wanted it to be an educational tool, so we continue to bring our 5th graders out. We have a greater vision where we'd like to have more people out here, summer institutes, high school kids coming out here. Iowa State has been a great partnership with us in having summer internships out here, and we would just want to continue on that. So Dr. Borlaug really liked that education as the foundation and his mission, so we want to continue to restore and preserve, but again, we want to educate our future.
That's Barb Schwaman from the South Winneshiek School District and a vice president of the Norman Borlaug Foundation. And that's our report on the 3rd annual Norman Borlaug Education Day, Inspire. For WDDnews.com, I'm Randy Novotny.